Hey guys, it's Cassie and
Kylie
and Nick over there in the corner. Today we are showing you guys a toilet rebuild. We are at Uprising MMA and I have Juan Castillo here with me. So I'm gonna just flip the camera on and let him take it away.
Hi everybody, welcome to North Las Vegas. We're here at Uprising MMA. It's a gym where they called because they were having some problems with a few issues. One of them was their toilets. And if you follow me, I'll take you to the bathroom. So the customer called because they were having an issue with the bathroom. As you can see, their handle fell and broke. So that was just one of the problems. Also, the internal parts were actually having issues. They were having water make their way down into the toilet. So what we're going to do today is rebuild the toilet. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Also, one thing I noticed is in case of an emergency, you want to shut off the water. They're unable to do it because their valve, this angle stop here, I don't know if you guys can hear, it's kind of hard to turn. It's on a plastic screw, so it's kind of hard to be able to shut it off, and in an emergency, this could be a problem. So another thing we're going to be doing today is replacing this angle stop. So awesome. Here we go. And I've already shut off the water. That's just some residual water. So,
Nick, you want to assist him?
I'm gonna need a little bucket. It didn't quite make it all its way out.
So can you explain to me what's inside this toilet here? When people say the flapper, what are they talking about?
So this is a different type of toilet. This has no flapper. This is just a different flush valve down here. And this is the flush valve we're going to be using today. This is the flapper.
I see.
So we're going to be changing it up quite a bit.
Cool.
We got a little basin here. We're going to catch that extra water that doesn't. So before I move on to the toilet, I'm going to replace this valve here.
And why is it important again to have that valve working properly?
That way, in case of an emergency, say your toilet for some reason fails, this is your only. Well, it's not the only way of shutting off your water, but it's a quick way of doing it. And we're going to be replacing this with a quarter turn angle stop. So with a quarter of a turn, you shut it off. And these are more reliable. They last way longer. So here we go. For those do-it-yourselfers, this is a great tool to have.
What is it?
It's for removing the angle stops. It just gives you better a grip on there. And this threads on right onto the threads if you're able to do that with an angle stop. So there's some angle stops that come with a connected line, and you can't really do it with those. But if you do have one of these types of angle stops that has the threads, it's a great tool to have.
Also easily connects there.
Yeah, you don't. That way you don't try to put another wrench on here. This is basically your wrench right here.
Cool. So all that is just water that was still in the.
Yeah, it's just residual water. I'm gonna use this furrow blaster to get this out. And we like to remove the nut and the ferrule. We don't like to reuse them. So we replace all the parts. We strip it down to bare copper. and we use new parts. And it's important to do that because if you try mixing the old parts, you can end up with a leak. And all you gotta do is just snug it up.
And is this something that just kind of becomes corroded over time? Or?
Yeah, our water has corrosive elements in the water, and also I don't know if you can see there's a plastic stem here. If you can see
Instagram.
If you can see inside, this is actually shot. See how it doesn't raise the stem. It relies on a rubber gasket, but this is a screw inside, and as you can see, the screw is not turning. Otherwise, you'd see the little stem rise up. So, and if they were actually having an emergency, they wouldn't be able to shut the water off. So that's not going to be a problem anymore. But the quarter of a turn opens up their water. So that's that. We're good there. And if for some reason we're working on this and they need to have their water back on, we can take care of this, turn on the water, and then we can move on to the toilet.
So now we're moving on to what?
The toilet tank rebuild. With that, basically means we're going to replace all the parts inside the toilet. The flush valve, the fill valve, the handle, everything inside.
What are you doing right now?
So down here there's some bolts. Right now, to drain the water out of the rest of the water that was left inside the tank, I'm just going to take the fill valve off and collect that water. And this just can get tossed. Here you go, Nick, a lovely assistant over there. And once you drain the tank, most of the water is out. There's still going to be some water in there. This particular tank has 3 bolts that anchor it down.
So Juan, we have a question from somebody viewing the video.
Okay.
Melanie Riddle wants to know how much this service will cost.
The service will depend on the type of repair that needs to get done. In this case, we're going to be charging the customer for an angle stop, the emergency valve that you just saw get replaced, and the toilet tank rebuild. I don't know, are we giving prices over the Instagram?
So call us today for your complimentary
Call
no
us.
obligation estimate.
Yeah, well, we actually do not charge to go out to your home, whether it's during the day or emergencies. We will go out and assess the situation, whether it's something as simple as a toilet, angle stops. I mean, this angle stop, you'll see one of these in every fixture. You'll see 2 in each sink. If you have a double sink, you'll have 4. So those are 4 opportunities that your house can flood, and by replacing these, that's a great way of saving you a headache in the long run. So if you have any questions on what needs to get replaced in your house, call us out there and we'll do a free evaluation.
You're welcome, Melanie. She says, great, thank you so much. And really quickly, if you guys ever have any questions and you just don't want somebody to come out to your home just yet, you can always give us a call. If we have somebody to assist you over the phone, or we always have somebody that can answer questions for you. So don't be afraid to give us a call.